Well, folks, this is Acid Roots. We're going to talk about No Doubt a little bit. So, about this group, Gwen Stefani is the singer to this group, and they're actually kind of more punk rock, alternative type stuff, but they do make some pretty good songs for actually going out. And so, I've said before that I don't want to be typecast, and this is just a product of that. And it's good. This is a pretty good venture, and it's not metal, and it's not necessarily just rock. It branches into genres, and it's really wanting to be kind of undefined. So that's one thing you're going to have to remember. But with this album, they decided to go a little bit more chart heavy. Like, this is the like, out of most of their albums, I remember the song Don't Speak, but this was pretty chart heavy. It had a lot of radio songs on it, and I think there were about 3 or 4 of them that actually made it to the air. So this came out in late 2001 and lasted into like 2003 just about. And so it was a good look for Gwen Stefani and the rest of the band. I know that they did it well, but you're gonna have we'll go through that trip. So, Can You Smoke to This? There's actually a song for smoking on here. It's called Start the Fire. But I also feel like Making Out and Hella Good are some other ones. And depending upon how much you like, charting songs, Hey Baby is another one. So, the production, now they worked with a bunch of people. It almost sounds like a hip hop record, but I don't quite think that it is. It just is simply that they're seeing different styles of production. There's some real spacey electro type sounding things on here. It's pretty exuberant, but I also do think that I would have liked that really. I mean, the guitars come out, but it's just not effective enough. It's not that I don't like that type of rock where the guitars are just not vicious. So, but Hella Good has one of the best beats on here, and I feel like Start the Fire is another great one, and Waiting Room is okay during the verses. Underneath It All sounds really reggae, and so does Start the Fire. So the unheard songs, I like 4 out of 12, in addition to one almost song. I'm also going to talk about some of the stuff to go for. So Hella Good is the best song on here. It pretty much sounds like a club song. I mean, the only weakness is, the energy does not match that song. And, it's like, yeah, you're feeling hella good, but after that song, it is looking for another one with that much pure um, vibes. I can't think of the word for it, but just the energy that you put out when you're in a good mood. Making Out is, I think that one could have been a radio song. Start the Fire and In My Head. Now, Start the Fire is kind of reggae ton almost. I think some folks will probably enjoy that one. It's not your go-to smoking song, but the fact that I don't think Gwen Stefani and No Doubt are, I don't know if they're smokers or not, but I will say that it works. But just don't expect like a Snoop Dogg song. And In My Head is another one that was, I don't remember it that well, but that's one to look out for. Underneath It All, which was a song you might have heard. That one was the almost song, and that would make the 2 reggae songs that are on here. So both of these happen to be, they go down really well, and it'll probably help out a lot. It'll work because people have heard it, and No Doubt's pretty good at reggae. Now, a couple of the ones that were close, I mean, it's chock full of radio songs, but the problem with it is that, so much is different on this album that you just don't get a taste of what you really want. So you'll get the one song, but then you've got to, start from scratch on the next song, which, can be frustrating because it means that you've got to build up liking something all over again. But, a couple more songs I think people may like are Hey Baby and Waiting Room. Yeah, a couple songs I think people might also like are Hey Baby and Waiting Room. But those 4 or 5 songs are the ones to go to. I mean, those are the best ones. Basically, this is a little bit too unfiltered and uncontrolled. I think that a little bit more cohesiveness probably would have made this album a lot better. I still think it needed another Hella Good. It just was too different. So the score, I'm gonna give this album a 5 out of 10, just because 5 out of 12 really it shouldn't, but these songs are really good, and I wasn't expecting that, so I want to show the quality for what it is. And they were pretty interesting, and I think a lot of people will probably like them. If you're sick of rap, you're sick of the money, the hustle, the drugs and all that. There's also another direction to go in, and I know a lot of women out there like Gwen Stefani, so this is probably a good taste of a direction I would go in. Now I'm also attempting to review No Doubt's second out or 2012 album, so we'll see how that goes. But that is the future. Gwen Stefani's been working on a project, but she says it's coming out next year. The social score, I'll give it a 6.5, just because it had 3 charting songs, and there are songs on this album that are good besides that. So it's pretty, she's someone that people are going to know, and the band is too. So can it be top? Yes, it can. But, considering if, a normal album with 4 songs that have been heard on the radio, plus, other good ones is usually about 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. It's just that the other songs are just lack, goodness. And you'll notice. But alright. Give this album a 5 and a 6.5 social.